what you really got to understand is that we're dealing with a housing bubble. People forgot that they bought houses because that's where they were supposed to live. And that when they looked at the cost of a house, they had to deduct from it the real rental value of what they did. The reality was just the opposite. I mean, we had, Barney Frank, parading back and forth in Washington and say, let's keep dancing and let's, put out more subprime loans. And then when the shit hit the fan, Barney wasn't there anymore. It's that kind of lack of responsibility that permeated the whole housing market. In other words, the whole argument was, come on, put out the loans, put out the loans. There was no due diligence. And the result was that when you have nobody with skin in the game, how can you not end up with the result we had?
So, okay, going forward, though, moving on from that, though, let's take the government. Is the government going to be able to help stimulate the housing market?
I think the government has done too much already. And I think the best thing that could happen would be for the government to go into hibernation and let the market address the issues of supply and demand.
But all joking aside, I mean, what you're saying is that the markets are recovering, the housing market's recovering. If all else being equal, it will recover, and we will eventually get back to some semblance of balance.
Yeah, but I think it won't be a repeat of what I call the investor-sensitive single-family market. In other words, where everybody just had to get in. One of the enormous demographic issues of our time is the delay of marriage. In other words, I graduated from college. I was married 10 days later. I'm not saying that was a good idea. I'm just telling you what happened. Okay, big difference. But within a year, 95% of everybody I went to college with was married. Today,
it's different.
The marriage has been delayed 7 to 9 years. In response to that, an awful lot of the demand in the 04, 05, 06 were people literally getting out of college and buying a house. Okay, they couldn't afford it. They were conned into it, low floaters, all that crap. And just now we're going to take all those people out of the market, which is what's happened. And they're finally realizing that you buy a house when you need a house. You don't buy a house to protect yourself, so you're kind of riding the game up the ladder. And so I think you're going to see changes reflecting different kinds of demand. But overall, it's going to be a slow process.